always like to find balance in these talks. And the last few weeks we have spoken about and explored some powerful secrets of manifestation and perception. In other words, the power of cause and effect. The invisible cause that brings about the visible effect. And there's absolutely nothing wrong in that, but we want to balance it now with the outer focus, which we were really getting into, with the internal focus. So we're going to spend the next few weeks going deeply inward and exploring the nature of our very beingness. And in order to do that, we have to get through some layers of stuff. And so this stuff that's always there, and always sorting our muck and mire, always sorting our way through. Because growing up, many of us were told in verbal and nonverbal ways that there was a lot of things that we could not do, right? And they weren't true. And conversely, we were told that we were not told how many things we really are capable of doing, of being in our lives. And we're not going to dispel any false information. We will dispel all false information. We don't want that false information in our energy field whatsoever. So we're going to open ourselves up to explore some spiritual truths on a deeper level. And truths about ourselves that we might not have been told growing up. Probably not, unless you were really, really one of the rare people that were told how magnificent, how fantastic, how glorious you really are. You are. So I want to begin this morning with a story. I like to say, once upon a time. One day a man found an egg. So he put it in with the barnyard hens to be incubated and hatched. Little did he know that the egg was not the egg of a chicken, but rather of an eagle. It was the egg of an eagle. Obviously, neither did the eaglet. So when he hatched with the brood of chicks and he grew up thinking he was a barnyard chicken. Why not? And living like a barnyard chicken. He scratched the earth for worms and insects and chicken feed. He clucked and cackled and he thrashed his wings awkwardly and only flew a few feet before he fell to the ground again. And years passed, and the eagle, living like a chicken, grew very old. One day he noticed something exquisite, soaring gracefully and beautifully in the sky. It was a magnificent bird that glided so majestically among the powerful wind currents. With scarcely a beat of its strong golden wings, the old eagle looked up in awe. "What is that?" he asked. "No, that's the eagle, the king of birds," said his neighbor, chicken neighbor. "He can soar. He belongs in the sky. He's free. We aren't. We are just chickens on the ground, so we belong to the earth." So the eagle spent all of his days living like a chicken, for that is what he thought he was. And that comes from Chicken Soup from the Soul, Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen. Who do you think you are? Right? Who do you think you are? The question is not asked in a critical way at all, but a way elicit some deep thinking. Who do I really think I am? In the metaphor of our story, do you think you were born a chicken, destined to cluck and cackle and scratch the ground, awkwardly flap your wings in an attempt to fly, but never really making it off the ground? A lot of people. Or do you know that you were born a magnificent eagle with absolute capacity and capability to spread your wings and soar gracefully, magnificently, and freely throughout your life? Because that's the truth. This is the spiritual truth of you. A truth that you may not have been told. And in order to live this truth, it is really important that we get clear on the answer to 3 fundamental questions. When we can answer and live the answer from these 3 questions, we will come a long way in remembering and embodying these truths and dispelling the old truths. And they are, why are you here? What are you doing here? And who are you here to be? And summed up in today's title, which is why you were created or born, living the answers to these questions, not just answering them, but living them, embodying them, enables us to spread our wings when we realize and recognize our magnificence. And I have to keep saying that because I have to keep hearing that as well. We all have to keep hearing that we are powerful, magnificent creatures who create our own life. So we're going to explore that a little. Why are you here? That's number 1. We have 3 that we're going to talk about, all 3. And I talk about this pretty much every week, and in one way or another, but it deserves explicit attention here this morning. Because without answering, we really can't answer the other 2. First, we have to know why you are here. And I'm going to say it in ways that you might have heard before, but in different ways, because we can't hear it enough. You are here to bring spirit, God, divine energy, pure consciousness to this experience in our own perfect way, because we're all unique. You are here so that the divine idea of life may fulfill itself. You are here that divine circuitry may be complete, because it needs each and every one of us. You are here to bring the metaphysical into the physical, and that's the unformed infinite substance. And the physical is the formed and the tangible. That's why we are here to create, in other words, to break that down, to create our lives, to have meaning, and they can have meaning for us. Did you know that you are truly that? Did you know that, or have you discovered that, is really the question. And if not, it's really worth discovering. It really is. Ralph Waldo Emerson, we've all heard of, philosopher, poet of the late 1800s, a great influence on Ernest Holmes. He wrote, "There is no planet, no sun, no star that could hold you if you but knew who you are." That's how powerful we are. All that is, we are so powerful. But no one told us how powerful we really are. And we're capable of creating infinite possibilities. We think that they're out of infinite possibilities. Nothing is impossible. Often not realizing who we are and the power we have right inside of us all the time. We look around and say, gee, I wish I could be like him or her, or, oh, they really got all the breaks when they were born. Look at how, of course they're going to be successful. Why can't I be like that? All the power there is, all the power we need is right inside of us, all of the time. Not just in some of us, but in all of us. Every one of us. And we often think everyone else has it, but us. It's not true. We have to remember that. It's not true. So you are here to be fully who you are, fully. And by doing so, you complete the divine circuitry of life. We are a unique aspect of pure consciousness, and all there is consciousness. There is nothing else but pure consciousness. The creative force of all. That's who we are. And what are you here to do? So there's a lot of possible answers to that. And you probably think I'm going to talk about finding your divine purpose or something like that, and I'm not. The answer I want to explore for the next few minutes is equally applicable to all of us, each and every one of us. And it is imperative that we all get this. We are here to end the not enough paradigm. That's why we're here. Not enough. In fact, we're here to prove it does not even exist. Even though we have been told over and over again that it does. Not enough love, not enough time, not enough energy, not enough creativity, not enough supply, especially in the form of money. Ernest Holmes tells us in Science of Mind, we must learn to come under the divine government and accept the fact, I love this, that nature's table is ever filled. There was never, no such thing as a cosmic famine. Never could be, never has been. And this is, we've all heard the word affluence, right? And we probably think that it means acquiring all kinds of incredible homes and cars and all kinds of material stuff. And it's actually a corruption of the true meaning of that word. The true meaning is affluence, and it literally means free flowing. Flow forth. So Holmes in the Science of Mind tells us the river of life is forever flowing through us. The river of life, that's the creative force of all that is, all the substance, all that consciousness is flowing through us. It is us. It has to be flowing because it's never stagnant, it's always moving. So the word affluence really refers to the free flow of life. The free flow of unlimited substance from which the universe is created. Affluence or free flow of unlimited substance, then, is the natural state of things. It truly is. So, whenever we see or hear not enough, we are seeing a frustration of the natural flow of life. I would say a stagnation of that flow of life because it's fluid. And I love that word, fluid. It's fluid. And until this whole idea around affluence and free flow is corrected, all of the activities and programs in the world will not help us until we realize the free flow of all the good there is, all the possibilities there are. They're all there for us to say, yeah, I'll take that one. If you remember Elizabeth Gilbert's book, I gotta do that talk again, all these ideas are floating around. And the one that is awakened to them can take it. And if you're not, it's just gonna pass by and find someone else. It's just a visual to get that we can choose any idea, any form that we choose. Holmes tells us again in Science of Mind, if we are thinking of ourselves as poor and needy, then mind has no choice but to return what we have thought into it. Thoughts of failure, limitation, or poverty, all thoughts of not enough, are negative and must be counted out of our lives for all time. God has given us a power, he says, and we must use it. We can do more towards saving the world by proving this law than all the charity has ever given to it. So what are we here to do? We are here to prove this spiritual law, to prove it's true. We are here to end the not enough paradigm. Just take a breath of relief on that. We are more than enough. We are so much more than enough. In the book, Aladdin's Lamp, Ernest Holmes did a simple treatment for his protege, Bill Hornaday. He was a newly installed speaker at the Belmont Theater. And then he said to him, "That's good." He did the prayer, and he said to Bill, "That's good. It is done, Bill. Now go and prove the principle. It's in the belief. It's done. It's already there. Now prove it to yourself." Because you can't prove it to yourself. I know you can, because I have. So why can't you? And a lot of you already have. You're living your dreams, or you're creating new dreams that serve you. We're here to prove that principle. And what is the principle, you might think? It is all the spiritual truths that we study here at Joyful Gathering Spiritual Center. To use these truths in our everyday life. To use them. That's the whole point of it. To be anything we speak about of these spiritual truths. And who are you here to be? You are here to be a spiritual leader. Each and every person. You're a spiritual leader. If this is your first time here, which no one's here for the first time, that might be a bit much. Or if you just started, it might be a bit much. You say, what? So that divine idea can fulfill itself through you. Most of you have been here in these teachings so long. So that divine idea of being a spiritual leader can fulfill you and fill you into that leadership role. And what does it truly mean to be a spiritual leader? Easy to throw around words, but what does it mean? Franklin D. Roosevelt once said, "Our true destiny is not to be ministered unto, but to minister to ourselves and our fellow man." He's a good president. One of the foremothers of New Thought, a lot of you have heard, Emma Curtis Hopkins, wrote in her book, Scientific Christian Mental Practice, she wrote, "Persistent thought about prosperity and how prosperity is brought to us will make you a magnet for prosperity. However, your prosperity will not be the highest prosperity. It will not be useful prosperity unless you know how to teach others to be prosperous. There must be a free giving of your truth, and the world may wait another 1,000,000 years for the wretched poverty of this people to be gone. It's through you living these principles. That's how you prove this stuff. You don't have to go around speaking to people, and you can, and trying to convince them. You can't. You can't convince anyone. They have to convince themselves. But you can live this, and you can be this, and that is being a spiritual leader. And she also wrote, and now this is in the 1800s, teach/lead, not necessarily in formal ways, but by the way we live. So how can you step more powerfully into spiritual leadership? What would it look like in your life? Many of you are doing this right now. Would it be refusing to play the "oh, ain't it awful" game? Boy, that's draining. We were just talking about that. It's really draining to play those kinds of games. Oh, ain't it awful? Would it be choosing the voice for love in situations of hate, of peace in times of chaos and war? Big one for today. Would it be having a positive, life-affirming influence on a child? That's huge. If there's any children in your life, just being there with these teachings for them is the most empowering and the greatest gift you can give to them and to the world. Would it be that you are the ray of sunshine in your family or community or office if you work? Would it be to share your insights and practices around prosperity? A Course in Miracles says, who would attempt to fly with the tiny wings of a sparrow when the mighty power of an eagle has been given him? Full circle. So I guess we're all eagles waiting to soar. If we're not soaring already, why not? And adjust it so that it fits. That adjustment is so that it fits our metaphor that we started the day with. And so, my friends, I want you to leave here this morning knowing that no matter what your age, no matter where you have been, no matter what the ups and the downs have been up to this point, no matter how lost or off track you've been, we've all been there. It's never too late to begin to spiritually soar like an eagle. It's never, ever, ever too late. It's never too late to remember why you are here and to start living from that place. And it's never too late to say yes to affluence. I'm affluent. Are you?
Yes.
Yeah. Each and every one of us are affluent. We're living in a life with this free-flowing energy all of the time. Just sucking that one in. And it's never too late to fulfill your role as a spiritual leader. Each one here is a spiritual leader. Believe that. By living your life in this way, you will definitely spread your mighty spiritual wings and live your divine truth. And I say that is the way to live life. And so it is.
And so it is.